This video chart presentation of ADK Health Systems brought to you by MissionIR. ADK is an AMEX listed company trading under ticker ADK. Very interesting chart here. It's been on a downtrend. Seems to be finding a base though. Multiple bottoms right here around $3.70, $3.80. Approaching that area again. So we'll take a quick run through the indicators and see if it's giving us hints the support level is going to hold once more and look for a potential bounce and upward movement. We do have a nice upward trend going on in the MACD. Tried right through here to make a stronger move. You can see it did make a nice climb from $3.85, added almost a buck a share, slipped back down to that support level again. Now once again the MACD is trending upward. We'll look for that trend to continue towards zero. Similar look with the PPO, trending upward, coming off a PPO ADX pinch. And then long-term reversals of charts, that's what you look for. The pinch to lead into a PPO trend back towards zero. ADX approaching 10, that's a very common reversal point. The chart says over the last few months, the downward direction of the chart is losing quite a bit of steam. And 10's a very low reading, so you look for a reversal at that point and potential upward movement. MFIs all holding right around 50, that's relatively neutral. Accumulation distribution holding a baseline level, we'll look for that spot to hold again. Shaking money flow starting its trend back towards zero, telling you over the last 20 periods, buying pressure is increasing versus selling pressure. CCI registering right around zero, that's pretty neutral, just look for continuous higher lows to be made. Full stow similarly holding right around 50. That's a neutral reading of momentum. And the TRIX, which is a good long-term indicator, much like the MACD, still trending back towards zero. That's a positive sign. Downward movement in the RSI over the last couple days, but this stock closed Thursday and Friday down last week. And that, of course, pulled some of the momentum out of the play. Again, just look for higher lows to be made. Holding right around 50 is also a neutral reading. What to look for in this importantly, bottom support at 370 to hold, and even in the more near term, look right around this $3.95 mark. Was a little bit of resistance back here at the end of November, beginning of December. It was an area of support back here in October as well. And here over the last few weeks, it's held that mark. So in the near term, I'd be looking for the $3.95 area to hold. If it does break below that, I'd certainly be looking for the bottom support as another bounce point. On the upward side of things, resistance is kind of intermittent. I'd look for some right around $4.20. That's an older support level and a more near-term resistance level. It's had a difficult time closing above it over the last 2 weeks. But I'd definitely call that secondary. Look for it to pick up a little bit around $4.40. I don't really see resistance coming into play on a more difficult level until around $4.70. Closing at $4, that's a pretty nice upside, almost 20%. And I expect that to be tough not only because of the static resistance, but also the 200-day moving average trending through there at $4.78. Historically, it was also an area of support and resistance, and that's going to factor in as well. That can be a big point in this chart as far as an overall reversal, identifying this spot as a true bottom, and potentially continue an upward trend should that resistance level become support. Beyond that mark, resistance is relatively intermittent. I'd look for resistance to come into play again around the $5 mark, and then certainly again up around $5.60. That's not something that we look for tomorrow, as we always state. Just pointing out levels with charts at this point right now as to where resistance comes into play. The chart is dynamic. It can establish new support and resistance levels as it moves forward. Right now, the key point is $4.70 and $3.70 for levels of support and resistance that I'd really have my eye on. Volume is lower on this play. This is a thinly traded stock. With that can come very volatile movements in either direction. And that's why it's important to keep an eye on volume levels as they correspond with the support and resistance points. So there's some things I'm going to keep an eye on with the ADK stock chart. But as always, this is merely my interpretation. Thank you for watching and trade smart.